Welcome back to Probe the Act on Deepstuff Radio. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to Probe the Act on Deepstuff Radio with Emmy Hikins and a lovely singer, songwriter, and a musician all the way from Vancouver in America, Washington in America, Matthew Boydston. So, how would you describe the first step to making a new song for you? The very first step.
The very first step. It happens two ways. I will either be sitting around playing my guitar and find a new set of chords that really catch me and then start adding lyrics to it, or some event will happen and I will start crafting lyrics around the event. For instance, Old Soul Girl on my CD, I was driving down the street in a big truck for a company that I worked for, and a little girl on a scooter pulled out in front of me. I almost ran over. Yeah. And she had no idea what had just happened. Yeah. And rather than getting angry, I watched her drive away from me and watched her hair float out on the wind. Yeah. Saw her little backpack, and 6 blocks later, I had the song written down. Wow. Wow. Much to the chagrin of the people around me who were trying to avoid getting hit as I was trying to write and drive at the same time. No, I eventually pulled over and finished the song. But I wrote at least 95% of that song within 6 blocks. It just happened. Yeah. Wow. Great. So how important are your fans? Oh, those are the backbone of what I do. They are the most important thing. Fans are what makes this possible. Yes. And so I try really hard to respond to everybody on all the social media sites and to comment back to people who leave comments. When I do a show, I love to be out in the lobby when the show opens and greet people as they're coming in. When the show's over, I do my best to get out to the front of the lobby again and say hello to people on their way out, see what they liked about the show. Fan input is what makes this whole thing tick. I mean, that's the reason I do it. Wow. I'm not doing this for fame. I'm not doing this for fortune. I'm doing this so that people can come out and forget their cares and their worries and have a really nice evening and a great experience and, go home tapping their feet and whistling and just leaving life behind for a little while. Yeah. That's the driving force behind the music for me. Wow. That's a good one, eh? So, I know you obviously... I got too serious, didn't I?
No, it's alright. It's not called Probe the Act for nothing, anyway. It's the name of the show. Right, so I know you obviously like all your songs, but you're gonna have to narrow it down to just 2 that you really like at the moment, 2 of your songs.
2 of my songs that I really like. Yeah. My favorite song on the disc, oh goodness, now you really pinned me back. I can't just pick 2, I put 12 on there. I know. A Song for You is not the most listened song on my CD. It definitely is not making the most traction, but for me personally, that's the song that I wrote one evening when I had literally done 1,000 shows in my living room. Yeah. And I got that feeling like I'm only going to ever play for the shadow crowd that comes out after everyone's in bed. Right. And so I wrote that singer-songwriter song about, that process and that place when you begin to feel stuck and there you are and your audience is just, you don't have one. Yeah. But you're still there playing your heart out and singing like you do have an audience. Yeah. See what you mean, yeah. So that one is extremely, I mean that one's, on a personal level, that one's very close to me. Yeah. Other songs on the disc, my second choice, that's a difficult one. The rest of them, I'm gonna pick a fun one because there's a song on there called A Cup. Yeah. And that song came out of just a great the story behind it made the song fun for me. I mean, I was down in Southern California, and there was a makeover show going on down there in the little lobby of a mall, and it seemed like everybody that was there at the makeover show had breast implants, which, you know, that's okay if people do that, that's fine. When you're surrounded by a couple hundred people that all seem to have them, it begins to be overwhelming. And later that night I was walking down Sunset Strip in Hollywood, and all these girls seemed to be out, you know, populating the night there. And a girl ran down the street in a little pink and black jogging outfit.
Yeah.
And she was definitely an A-cup, and it was almost like she was in slow motion running toward me, and I watched her run toward me.
Yeah.
And she ran by. I don't know if I said it out loud or if it just happened in my head, and I like an A-cup. And went to Art Carney's Cafe and sat down and ordered a chili dog and pulled out a napkin and started writing that song.
What a way to be inspired for a song.
Oh, yeah, yep.
Well, at least you're honest about it.
Well, you have to be.
Well. We don't want to argue on that one. So how would you describe the biggest obstacle that you've managed to overcome as an act with regards to your music solely?
The biggest obstacle I had to overcome, I'm a singer-songwriter.
Yes.
And so when I sit down and write a song, I kind of lose the perspective of how the audience is going to view that song. When I went to record my disc, the producer said, "Hey, I'd like you to sit down with these two songwriters to help you round off the edges of your music."
Yeah.
And I sat down with those two songwriters, and they would, you know, we picked the 12 songs together, and they would say, "Hey, you know, these are really great songs," and then they would start the rewriting process.
Yeah.
And that was probably the most painful thing that I've ever dealt with.
I see what you mean, yeah.
When they throw out a line that you're really fond of and replace it or change the way something is arranged in the song, it can be, it's like somebody stabbing you.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And that was the most difficult obstacle to overcome. And then we finished the process and got the songs done, and I listened back to them and I was like, wow, it was so worth it. It was so worth it.
I mean, it's always good. I mean, they say two heads are better than one, which is certainly true in songwriting as well.
Yes,
I think,
absolutely.
Yeah. Right. So this is the concluding part where you get to give shout out to anybody at all, and don't forget your girlfriend or wife.
Oh, my wife Lynn. She has been with me through thick and thin.
Yeah.
And every day in the studio, she's with me. She listens to me write. She never stops supporting me. Makes sandwiches for the band when we go out and play.
Wow. That's a keeper right there.
Oh yeah. And all the guys that recorded on the disc with me, my producer David Hall, and the songwriters Rachel Thibodeau, Jason Seaver.
Yeah.
My folks, my mom and dad, for just the tremendous amount of support they've given me musically throughout my life.
Yeah.
I can't forget my boss, because whenever I say, "Hey boss, I need a week off to go play music," he says, "We'll see when you get back in a week."
Wow.
Yeah, I have a tremendous support group, and I try to remember that. And most of all, I want to thank the fans, the people that are out there listening and promoting. They've taken me around the world.
Wow.
Just by sharing the music, and just want to encourage them, please, you know, if you find a song you like, share it with a friend.
Yeah,
and, just put it out with people. But yeah, it's a long list.
Wow. Matthew Boydston, all the way from Vancouver in Washington, the United States of America. It's been lovely having you on the show, Probe the Act.
It's been great being here.
We hope to catch up with you again, you know, when you have any new releases or any new event coming up. Just let us know. We'll give you a slot, you know, to tell our listeners about it.
Oh, that's much appreciated.
Yeah.
Posted. Yeah.
Right. So I've been Emmy Hikins, and you've been listening to Probe the Act on Deepstuff Radio. Have a lovely week now.